everyone, thank you for tuning back in to A Girl So Geeky. My name is Gemma. A very warm welcome to any new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my sewing journey. I'm sorry I haven't vlogged in a few months. The time has just flown by. I'm sure you'll all agree that it's just gone so fast. I actually feel like I don't have any memory of June. I have no idea what happened to June, and then like July is when I actually made most of my items. I had a week off annual leave and I got quite a bit done then, and then all of a sudden it is the end of August. How did that happen? I have no idea, but yeah, I made something in August as well. So what was meant to be my June makes is now going to be my summer makes, because it was over a longer period of time. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to try and be a bit more regimented, I guess. I don't like the word regimented, but right now the word escapes me. But I'm going to try and do like vlog, sort of once a month at the minimum, and blog as well, because I've been a bit quiet on there too. So I'm going to try and do a bit more of that, try and be a bit more on time, a bit more scheduled. We'll go, yeah, a firmer schedule of vlogging. Yeah, so I mean, this one will be my summer makes, and then I'll do another video to show my plans for sort of September, October time, and then I'll sort of go from there. So for now, I will show you what I've made. I'm going to insert some clips for each item of what I'm wearing, but I'll obviously go through here to show you a bit more of a description. So this first one is my Betty dress. It's actually the one that I was making prior to the Dressmaker's Ball Betty. This was the practice one. If you remember, I spoke about it in a previous vlog, and I had a disaster where I chopped out a little chunk when I was trimming a seam. And I vlogged to ask for help, so I didn't know how to fix it. Thank you all so much for your responses, it was so kind. I did try just doing the patchwork with like a piece of the material and some interfacing and just iron it and stick it together. It didn't work. I couldn't get it to work. Every time I sort of laid it all and lined it up all really nicely, as soon as I put the iron on, it just moved. And I don't even know how. Like, I kept it so still, and I didn't even like rub the iron on. I just, straight down, and yeah, it just kept moving. So I gave up with that, and I went with the lace option. So I've done lace. I'm going to show you and another funny story. Whilst doing a quick video with the dress on to do a little twirl, and I took the dress off and I was doing the zip up, and I've broken the zip. Seriously, this dress has just become a farce. Luckily I've only pulled off the little tab. It looks like it's just stretched apart, so I'll just grab some pliers and I'll pop that back on, but I can see that it has just got caught on the lining inside. So I'm going to fix that later. I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me try to curse and pull it apart. But yes, so this is my Betty dress. I will insert the video here. That was me wearing the Betty dress. I really love this material. I love the pattern. I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out. I actually really love it. I haven't actually worn it yet. I can't quite decide whether this is a dress that I could wear to work, because I think maybe it's perhaps too dressy for that. And I haven't been anywhere or done anything yet that I could wear it. I mean, I think it'd be a nice sort of like going to the pub, having a dinner, whatever, but yeah, I've not done that recently, so as soon as that occurs, I shall wear this dress. But yeah, I don't think you can see in the video, but a closer look. So I went with the lace. I've done it on the back, and I followed the V-neck, like the V shape, if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, you can just about see it. So I have followed the V shape, and then I've popped it on the waist as well, just to sort of tie it all together. I quite like it. It means I don't have to wear a belt. It's like I've already got one on there, so that is wonderful. I did a lot better with the lining this time. I'll just flip it inside out so you can see. So this time I guess I had enough, or I was able to sort of fold it under and finish that off nicer, so you can sort of see that. I have to say I still really need to work at my zips. Although, you know, I can get them in, I can get a zip in, but it's not always invisible, especially at where the waist, where the bodice joins the skirt. And then, like, some parts it's not very invisible, and then other parts I've literally stitched it practically to the teeth, and then that's why it gets caught. So yeah, I need to practice with that. And then I have finished off most of the seams, you can see, but I did the hem. If you are familiar with NaturalDane, I'll link her vlog below. She's fantastic. Her makes are really wonderful. And because she has sussed out doing making it all really pretty on the outside, she's now working on making it just as pretty on the inside. I think I still need to practice making it all look and great on the outside first, although I did copy her slightly, and I've put bias binding on the hem. When I first put it on, it really sort of kicked it out, I guess because it was like still a bit starched, like the bias binding was still a bit starched and stiff, and sort of really almost gave it like a lettuce leaf effect. But I've given it a wash and a press, and it's a lot softer now. But I actually really like it. So I've just bound that just to give that sort of a nicer finish. So I'm quite pleased with that. So overall, really happy with the dress. I think, like with the fabric, I did stretch it a bit as I was going, I think. With the neckline, I tried to show you in the video, when I sort of wore it, it was sort of coming like almost like a off the shoulder, where it's sort of got a bit wide. I don't like off the shoulder, it's just not for me. So I put a couple of little tucks in, or pleats, just to sort of bring it back in. It's not the tidiest, but I'm happy with it. I think it looks alright. It brings it back into where I want it to sit. So yeah, I'm quite pleased. So I'm going with that one, except for now having to fix the zip. Success! So that was my first one. I also then did, you'll remember that a couple of months ago there was the Sew Together for Summer challenge, which was to do a shirt dress. Obviously I didn't take part in that because I knew I wouldn't get it done in time, and it's like way after. But I still really wanted to do a shirt dress. I love the idea of them. I chose the Nina dress, I think it was, by Cotton and Chalk. I'll pop a picture here because I can't quite remember. And then I had the fabric, which was actually a duvet fabric from Primark, which was the Flamingos. I'll pop the video here. I am quite pleased with the finish with this dress. I think I did have quite a few issues with it. One being it was way too big when I first made it. I should have, now I know that I need to go the size down. I can't remember what size I've cut out. I have been a bit unprepared apparently, and I don't have any of that with me. But whichever size it was, I need to go a size smaller, because it was massive. I literally took it in on every seam rather than sort of redrafting it or anything like that. I just took it in on every seam. So I think Some of it does look a little bit dodge because of how I've taken it in, but it works. I'm okay with that. Also, I'm actually finding that I'm not that keen on this style of collar. I don't really like things right up at my neck, and that's how this one feels. So so I can wear it, I am sort of like folding the collar down. I think if I was to make this again, or any sort of shirt dress, I would go the proper sort of big collar, just so it then can sort of sit away from my neck. But that's fine. You know, it doesn't stop me wearing it. I'm happy with that. Again, I really need to start taking more care. Go slower, something, I don't know. But when I was finishing off, again, what was I saying? Yeah, so I was overlocking one of the seams, and I had the knife going because obviously where I'd taken it in everywhere, I needed to trim it all down, and took a chunk out the side of one of the panels. Oh my God, for God's sake, Gemma, seriously. So I had to fudge about with that and like take it in even more. So on the back, I don't know whether you could see on the video, but on the back, some of it looks a little bit crinkled and tight, but that's that's just because I messed up again and had to take it in a bit more. But you know what, I can wear it, it's fine. My first ever button placket, really happy with that. I actually quite enjoyed doing the buttonholes. They do need a little bit of tidying up where I've sort of chopped them open, but I'm really happy with that. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, and I just went for plain black buttons. I actually got these from the dressmaker's ball as well, so I thought they'll do. So I was quite happy with that. So overall, again, a success. With regards to the pattern, obviously it's a large flamingo print. I think if I was to make this dress again, I wouldn't do something that had such a big print. All the panels, because there's quite a few panels for the dress, they're all actually quite narrow, and where this was so large, I couldn't fit a whole bird onto one panel. So I actually really struggled with that. I've not had to do much sort of, obviously where I'm still quite new, and the things that I've made haven't had like actual patterns like this, so I've not had to do like worry about pattern placing like when I'm sort of cutting it out. So I think that could have been done better, but at the same time, yeah, where the panels are just so small, I found it quite difficult just trying to get them to fit in like a good place. I mean, I'm happy with how it's turned out, it's fine, I'm happy to wear it. I've had some really lovely compliments, but I just think for future reference, I will, if I make this again, then I will choose something that perhaps doesn't have such, you know, massive detail like that. If it was just like the polka dot, that would be perfect. However, I love the style of having the shirt dress, and I had completely forgotten that I had this one. I don't know whether you've seen this book before, So Many Dresses. I haven't made anything from it yet, but I can't wait to start. It's such an amazing book. You literally, you mix and match. So it has a whole range of bodices, a whole range of skirts, and you can mix and match the tops and bottoms into however you want them. And there is a shirt dress in here. Bear with me 2 seconds. There with. So this is the button down bodice. I don't know which skirt that they've put this with in the picture. It might be like a half circle, but look at that, isn't that gorgeous? So I don't think that's like panelled like the one that I've made. And actually I just really love how that looks as well. So if I was to make a shirt dress, I think I would give this one a go. I really do like that. So that is definitely earmarked for a future make. Okay, I then, because I'm working through the Tilly and the Buttons book, ta-da! I made a toile of the Meghan dress. Let me just make sure I'm quoting the right dress. Meghan, yes, the Meghan dress. So that's this one here. So if you've seen any of my previous vlogs, I think it might have been like my first or no, not my first, maybe like my second. I showed this fabric as I was showing sort of fabrics from my stash, and I had this one. Now this is one that I got from a de-stash sale, like a craft sale in Southsea. And I was like, oh yeah, it's really lovely. I just loved like the pattern. I think that is really cute. However, upon actually a closer inspection, it's a horrible material. I have no idea what it is. It is just, it's not nice at all. It's really sheer. I don't know whether you can sort of see me through this, but it is actually really sheer. It feels really strange. Like it's quite shiny. It doesn't fray, so I don't know if that means something. But look, if I rub it together, can you hear? It's just got such a weird texture. Like it is textured on the inside. I don't know what it is, but it's not nice against the skin, and it's, yeah, I just don't like it. So I thought, you know what, it'll be great for a toile. Why not? So I made up the Meghan dress. Now I do actually really love the style of this dress. I'll insert a video here. I don't think, when I've looked back at the video, I don't think it looks very flattering, but I'm hoping that's more to do with the material than it is the style of the dress, because I really like the style. It's so comfy. I will perhaps lower the neckline a bit because I feel that it's a bit high still, and I'm like choking. Obviously not, but it's just how it feels. Also with the fact that I've done no pressing, so the facing is pretty much like sticking right out. But I hope that like once I've remade it, which I am planning to, then yeah, it will look a bit nicer. I will show you what I'm planning to make that with in my next vlog of my makes. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. It's just the material. The material was just vile, but the actual pattern has come together really sort of quick and easy. So happy with that. Anyway, next one. See, I've made a lot of things. I'm like really pleased. So next one we'll go with my Delphine skirt. So again, this is from Tilly and the Buttons. Delphine is, I'm sure you are all well aware of what this skirt looks like, but just in case, this is the Delphine skirt. So I made this out of some black cord that I had left over from ages ago when I did my very first sewing lesson, and that was for a skirt. It was alright, wasn't great. I didn't really feel that I came away with that much knowledge, but there you go. You know, it's hit and miss with stuff like that. Again, like the zip, I think looks fairly good, but when it comes to like trying to get it done up at like where the waistband meets the rest of the skirt, I'm really struggling to like do them up. Why buying dodgy zips? Right, okay, I've got it done up, it's fine. Right, so this is my Delphine skirt. I'm pleased with it with regards to like how it's made up. It was really easy to follow. I have to say, I really do like Tilly's patterns. They are really easy to follow. One thing I'm noticing with them, for me, just for me, is that they're quite short. And to be honest, when you look at the pictures, they do look short. So I think for future makes, I am going to lengthen them. I tend to skirts and dresses, I prefer to have to the knee, to just, I mean, below the knee or whatever, fine, but at the shortest for me would be just coming to the knee. And yeah, a lot of these do not do that. How I got away with this one, because obviously when I was sort of like, oh, you know, folding it up for like the hem, I'm like, wow, that's taken it really short. So again, thank you NaturalDane for all your showing all your videos with the bias binding. I've done the same as well. Thank you so much for the inspiration. That way I was able to preserve as much length as possible. So I pretty much finished off the end of it, like overlocked it, because it's really sort of frays, and I literally had pieces of this material everywhere. It was like it snowed black fluff in here. So I finished that off, and I just turned it up slightly and then finished it off with the binding, and that way it's allowed me to preserve as much length as possible, because it was, for me, it was just coming up really short. And to be honest, I'm actually really pleased with how that then looks. I mean, it just, with this binding, it just is so seamless. It matches the inside like really well, and I think that's just finished it off really nicely. So I'm really pleased with that. I did find as well, I think if I was to make this up again, I need to change it on the pattern. My sort of shape is, I guess, more hourglassy. Like I have quite, like my hips and my butt and my shoulders are all quite wide or broad, and then my waist sort of nips in. Sorry, I don't think I'm looking at the right place. My waist sort of comes in, which, you know, sounds lovely. Oh, hourglass, but it means that, like, especially with like when I buy ready to wear, I get so much like gapage at the waist because, you know, it just obviously doesn't come in, and that's what I was getting with this. Like, it was all obviously just goes straight up, and I was just getting so much gapage. So I did a bit of a half job, which I just unpicked a little bit, pulled a little bit out, took it in a bit. So it does actually look, it's not the best, like, it's probably a little bit more bulky at the bottom than what it needs to be. If I just unpicked the whole lot and just, you know, pulled it all in a bit and restitched it, it would have been a much nicer finish. But I couldn't be bothered. But so it is okay with the way it is. The skirt will get worn, but I have to say, I don't think it's actually really that, you know, much my style. It is nice, but maybe it's just the material, because obviously the corduroy is quite a thick material, so maybe it's just how it sits. But I do prefer more of a swishy skirt, so, you know, like the circle skirts, even like pleated skirts, anything like that. I prefer something a little bit more swishy, whereas this, it pretty much, as I'm wearing it, just sticks out and stands like that, you know, it doesn't change shape. But I mean, it's fine. I did go to a pub dinner yesterday, but it wasn't like, it was just a Wetherspoons. So I didn't wear my nice dress, I just wore this, and it was nice and comfortable. But yeah, I think it's more of like, oh, I could wear it with some like sandals just on a real couch day. I don't know, it's alright, I like it, but I think there will be other skirts that I will like more. Although one thing that I'm quite pleased about as well, which again, it's something that I'm struggling with, I really need to try and take a bit more time or do a bit more learning. You know, I'm quite pleased with how that's met up. At the moment, I'm like, I don't know, and it's sort of meeting up here as well. And for some reason, on some of my things, I can sort of get it to meet up at like the waistband, but then the top doesn't meet, or I do it the other way around, that meets and then that doesn't. I don't know how that works. Surely, like, it should be basic science. I don't know. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Another make. Fabulous. And then my last one was the Lilo dress, again from Tilly. I think that's probably as much from the book as I'm going to make. I know there is like the blouse. I might make that at some point if I happen to have some material, and there is another skirt. Yeah, you've got like the Mimi blouse. If I come across some material that might be work, I might make a toile. I've got enough material that I could make a toile, just so I can see if I like it. So I might do that at some point. But this one was the Lilo dress, which is this. So that's a lovely dress. So apart from the blouse, that's probably going to be it for the book now. I'm happy that I've made something of most everything. And some bits I'll remake and some I won't. This, I'll insert the video here. So this dress is going to be more of a wearable toile. Mostly first because of the fabric. If you watch again one of my previous vlogs, I did a fabric haul. This fabric was from a fabric shop in Gosport. It's just a polycotton. It was really cheap, and it is really cheap. Like when I got it, I put it straight in the wash. Loads of dye came out. It was actually much darker than this, but loads of dye came out. And when I'm just sort of looking at the material, like since I washed it, it's not a very good quality at all. Like I'm finding like bits where it's just sort of like, I don't know what that is, just like the thread, you know, thread is pulling, a lot of discoloration. So I use this part for the lining purely because I don't know whether it's going to show up on here, but you can sort of see some discoloration. So even on the outside, you know, I couldn't really get away from it. So yeah, not that happy with it. Not very good quality, but you know, it's wearable-ish, I guess. And yeah, it was a good experience for sewing it up. So I also have used rickrack on it. This is my very first experience with using rickrack. It was alright. I like the effect. I mainly did that so instead of just plain top stitching, because I didn't actually have any very well matching thread for this, so I used red on most of it. And I thought, you know what, I will top stitch with that, just to keep like the lining in place, because that was all over the place. And yeah, it's just a nice design feature, I guess. This came up quite large again on the waist, so I did take that in, but I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the fit of this one is not very good. If you look in the video, it looks quite tight around the arms. I've got some like ruching, puckering, whatever. It looks like there's extra fabric at the back, like it's like too much at the back. If I don't know what's caused that, so if you know, then please tell me what would I need to do to, if I was to make this again, to stop that from happening. Is it the material? Is it where I've pulled it in? I mean, when I pull it in, I don't really sort of measure to make sure I'm doing it the same on both sides. I really need to do that. I need to start, I mean, wearable toile, so I think I can be slightly forgiven, but I really need to bump up the skill. Come on, Gemma, seriously. So, and yeah, and look, you can see again, like, it matched across here, oops, but look at that, not so much there. So obviously that's something I've done, don't know what, but try again. This is also apparently quite a sheer fabric. If I was to wear this, I really feel that I would need to wear like a slip underneath, because I was trying it on, I was thinking about, oh yeah, I could wear it for work, and then I looked and I was like, oh no. Even though I sit down all day, like if I was walking in the corridor or something, and yeah, it's just, I don't know whether you can see it because of how the light is, but I mean, like I can see the outline of everything. So no, it needs a slip. But yeah, I mean, it is wearable, you know, I feel alright in it. It just needs improving. So yeah, and obviously, and just because, yeah, just the material is not very great, so I don't know how long that will last. Oh look, I've also got a bit of a pucker there, just to be, you know, full disclosure. Look, also a bit of a pucker there, but this wasn't the proper zip. It was meant to be an invisible zip. I didn't have one, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to wait, I'm just going to make it up. So I used an exposed zip. It's the first time I've done that, and I tell you what, it took me ages because I just couldn't figure out how I wanted it to go. I was trying to do it with like lapped edges, but that just did not work. So, but yeah, this is how I ended up with it. I'm quite pleased with how that has actually turned out, but I don't know, it's fine, it'll do. But I don't want all my garments to be it'll do. I need to really practice. Watch a few more tutorials perhaps. Take my time. But there you go, that is my mix. So I'm quite pleased with like that I've managed to make quite a few, and that all in all they're pretty wearable. I'm happy with that. Things that I have made, like the shirt dress and the skirt, I have had some really nice compliments at work. Actually, I wore the shirt dress yesterday when I went round to my mum's. I went over the ferry, and one of the guys that runs the ferry was like, "Oh, that's a nice dress," and I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." He goes, "Oh, it's very unusual," and I was like, "Yes, I made it," and he was like, "Oh, job well done," and I was like, yes it was. So yeah, just a little bit of random chatter there. So yeah, so that's it. I'm happy that I've made stuff. I'm sorry that it's taken so long. Slow seller, but I will pick that up, but I want to improve the skill first. I am starting to go back to the craft cafe that's near me in Fratton. They have a Wednesday evening, which is where you can just take whatever craft you do, whether it's sewing, crochet, knitting, decoupage, whatever you do, you can take it along, and everyone just sits around and works on their stuff and chat away, and you can eat cake and drink tea or coffee or hot chocolate, whatever you want. So yeah, I've been going to there. I've been there a couple of times, mainly what I've been doing at the moment is tracing out patterns, because they've got like the big tables there, and I don't have that at home. I'd have to do it on the floor, so it's just a little bit easier there. Plus, you know, cake, always a plus. But those are my makes. I'm quite happy with them. If you've got any tips, tricks, hints, pearls of wisdom, please feel free to comment. I feel like I can construct a garment now. I want to do more fine tuning, so the end result is just a lot, you know, is better. I want to start now creating something of a better quality. So I feel like I've done enough items now that I'm like, okay, I can work my way through a pattern. I know how to join seams and you know, do basic constructions. Now I want to fine tune it and make it nicer, have a nicer outcome. So yeah, if you've got any hints, then please feel free to comment. That would be great. So my next video hopefully won't be too much longer after this one. Will be to show you my my plans for September and October. So yeah, I hope you've managed to have a wonderful bank holiday and weekend, and I will see you soon. Until next time, bye.